Good morning. Well, it's the day after Christmas. Time to get back busy again. Um, I received my boxes that I've been waiting for to come from overseas back home that I ship like most Filipinos and Filipino Americans and foreigners living here that take advantage of that unique system they have of shipping these large boxes. I shipped a lot of things that we needed here at the household, gifts for the family, as well as project pieces for my Toyota Hilux Surf and for this old 28-foot speedboat that I bought that is in need of a lot of repair and a lot of updating. But most of you people living in the Western world that have not experienced the Philippines, and even a lot of Filipinos, don't realize how hard these fiberglass boats are to come by here. Now, this isn't a true fiberglass boat. This was local made in Manila years past, and it's a wood structure boat that has been laminated with fiberglass. And some of the marine wood they used has held up pretty good, but some of it has went to the wayside because even it can only hold up so long if it's not allowed to dry out on a regular basis and not just constantly be soaking in water. So they did not have a drain properly in the back in the sump area, and it held water. So I got these boxes in, and they have some additions for my vehicle, and I'm excited to get those on. One of the main things is a intercooler for my turbocharger. You Toyota Hilux Surf and pickup people out there throughout Europe, Australia, Russia, here in the Philippines and other Southeast Asian countries that had these diesel versions of the Toyota Hilux Surf, which in the US is considered a Toyota 4Runner built with a gas engine, way smaller axles, way lighter frame. The cousin to this vehicle in the US is just not the vehicle that's over here on this side of the world in this diesel 4x4 version. Let me show you what all I sent though. Little toys. Well, there it is outside getting some morning sun. I've already took it out for a morning jog to City Hardware in the neighboring town of Oton. Let it stretch its legs a little bit for the day. So let me show you what I brought for it. I brought a bolt-on slide-in receiver that goes on the back of this truck for pulling a trailer. I could really use this if I want to tow this boat to other locations or cross on a ferry to other islands and launch it in other places instead of that long and sometimes dangerous travel across these open waters. What I liked about this one, this is off of a donor vehicle that we bought in the US. We went to the state of Arkansas, picked up a broken down Toyota 4Runner that had a lot of the accessories and parts on it that I need for this truck here in the Philippines because the parts are so hard to come by. So I got this hitch. It bolts in, goes together, and goes on the frame right here and here. I bought this slide-in receiver and the pin with the ball off Lazada. For the electrical lights and wiring from the US, I brought a male and female trailer plug. For the boat trailer, I brought this ball type hitch because right now it has a round pintle type hitch that will slap and bang a lot when you're going down the road, make a lot of noise, makes you kind of uncomfortable because you don't know if something's coming apart. I don't like that. They're kind of common here, but I don't like them. I just want the nice snug fitting ball type. So that's what I'm used to in the US, and that's what I brought here. Now moving on here, I brought a front bumper, what you would call brush guard, ranch guard, bull bar, whatever you want to call it. This was also off the donor vehicle, and it's an original Toyota. It has the headlight guards What I liked about this one when I bought it was it was able to be unbolted into different components, which made it way easier packing it in a box. Of course, I'm going to repaint it before I put it on. You people in the US, you're going to recognize it was from Arkansas because they had an Arkansas Razorback hog little front decorative plate on there. Me, I'm a Texas boy. Should be some Longhorns on there. So I'll be attaching this on, and it had places on here for fog lights or spotlights. Well, I wanted a little bit of updating, so I bought online on eBay these LED lights. I got this pair for only $40, and they are mega bright, and they are built so well. I cannot believe that I got those only for $40 for this pair. All the hardware for mounting them. So that bracket there's bent, but it doesn't matter because there's new hardware here in the plastic to put those on and adjust them. They're also unique that you can adjust this mount side to side and then tighten it down to wherever will work best. Thinking to put those here. I think it'll look really great. And some people might get surprised the next time they bright light me. And speaking of bright lighting, I sent the headlights from the one in the US. And the reason I did that is because these lights, they're not all that bright. They're properly adjusted. But I am constantly getting bright lighted for the past couple years in this truck. Every single time I drive it at night, they bright light me, every one. I took it and had the lights adjusted. We checked them. I just don't get it. There must be some kind of weird glare that they put off. A little bit yellowish in tinge, and I can't hardly see with them, but yet I'm being bright lighted. And I've dealt with cars my whole life. I know whether if a light's out of adjustment, pointing up too high or low. I've took it here in the subdivision, parked it down the street at night, got away from it as a car would be, put my eyes at different levels as a car would be, and I cannot catch whatever that glare is that they keep bright lighting me for. But it's going to change. I looked at how the filament's made in these bulbs, and it's kind of an odd setup. Must be something that they favored in Japan where this came from. So I brought the US headlights. They are also going to be a bright light, but it's something I'm more familiar with, and a little bit more of a white light. And luckily the donor vehicle had brand new fixtures that have been put on. They're dirty right now, but someone had updated these. It has glass front, plastic rear. I really like that glass front because it won't have that yellowing, fading, getting foggy look as a lot of the new headlights do these days. While I was at it, I went ahead and sent the mirrors. This vehicle does not have the original Hilux Surf mirrors. The ones they put on there were really nice, but this one has got damaged over here, and the glass is falling out of the other one. I went ahead and brought the mirrors as well. I'll put the originals back on it. I will black these out though. This truck has got a theme with that black out, and I will be blacking these out as well. And while I was at it, I brought the turn signals and parking lights also from the US. These are still good. There's nothing wrong with them. But there's always the chance that one could get broken. While I was at it and shipping these things, I went ahead and sent them as well. So that's those things. Pretty commonplace where we're at in the US, but here it's not. Now these guards are pretty popular on the late model new Toyota Hiluxes and Colorado pickups and all, of new style guards and all. But my vehicle is a classic. It's a restoration project. It's a unique vehicle in some sorts. That's why there's enthusiast clubs like I'm sharing out to you guys. And it's hard to find here in the Philippines any type of bolt-on ready-made guard like I'm looking for these older vehicles, especially back when this vehicle was new. They were not so much sold in this country. A lot of them were imported in as second-hand vehicles, and you're just not going to find much for accessories here. Very rare. Any parts. I have a lot of difficulty for parts in general for it. That's why we bought a donor in the US. Now, this is a turbo diesel, but without an intercooler. And it needs an intercooler. I'm not really wanting to boost it stronger. I like it just as it is, but it will help the cooling of this engine, especially in this hot tropical country. So I brought an intercooler, a tubing kit, and these can be all cut at however you need them, chop and slice them. Clamp kit, all the clamps here. I brought an adapter to go from 2 different pipe sizes. I bought a couple of these straight and elbows that'll change the diameter sizes in case I run into that. That's what this one is also. It's 2 different diameters, so that if I need to make a reduction even directly on a turn, I should be able to. I did a little bit of due diligence and a little research in advance, and there's different straights and elbows there as well. I did a little bit of due diligence and tried to follow on YouTube and some groups that I follow of others that have added intercoolers to these older non-intercooled turbos. Well, I'm hoping that I have everything here for it. Now the problem is going to be, where do you put that? There is not much space for it. Toyota on their later model vehicles are putting them on top of the engine. And I did find a couple YouTubers that put it on top of the engine, but I'm not sure if I have the clearance. If I do that, I will probably end up putting a little small scoop there in the middle of that hood that'll let air blow straight down into that intercooler. We'll have to see. That's something I'm asking for you Hilux people out there, Surfs and pickups. Give me some advice. Help me out here. Write me some comments back. If you would, post them on YouTube, not Facebook, so that others can more readily find that information later down the road if they too want to do a similar project. If you put it on my Facebook, it's probably not going to be seen but just that momentary time, and then it's lost forever. If you can put it on my YouTube and follow on this, others can watch it for years to come. So, as you know, every time you increase your pounds on your turbo, on your gate with your boost pressure, when you turn that up, you're also heating the air up. Now, it's not heating the air up because it's spinning from the exhaust. Some people think that, but it has nothing to do with that. Those are 2 different chambers in the turbo. One fan spinning with the exhaust, the shaft going across through an oil bearing, and then air coming and being compressed into the intake on the other side. The cooler you can bring that air in, the better, because when you compress that air, it causes friction within that air. Those molecules compressing, it causes heat. And it's not just a little heat, it's a lot of heat, to the point that you're bringing super hot air into the motor. And at that point, that engine's going to run hotter, and you can even have a meltdown or blow a head gasket. That's a weak point on these diesels right here, especially if people really treat them hard and turn those things up, damaging heads, blowing head gaskets. I'm hoping that this little jewel right here, this intercooler, will cool that air off, and that not only can maybe I increase the boost by 1 or 2 pounds only. I don't want to look for a lot of boost increase, but also I can get this engine to run more efficiently. It does great now, but when I really pull it hard in the mountains, I do start getting a heat up, and I know part of it would be resolved by putting this intercooler on. I've also already added an additional electric fan, which made a huge difference as well. So one more little toy, because I've never grown up, is I'm putting a bass tube in. I like it. I grew up in that era of bass and installing bass speakers, and it's not no high-end one, but it's something I can enjoy in here. Throw it off to the back and the side and catch some of those good songs and jam them out a little bit. Alright, well, that's what I've got going on here. As I said, anybody that's got any comments to give me some advice on where to put this intercooler, how to install it, I'm all ears. But please post it on the YouTube. My Hilux Surf fans out there, that in these little enthusiast groups that I follow, chime in, share this, help me out. I appreciate it. Everyone, y'all have a good upcoming new year, and talk to you soon. Thank you. Okay, well, I took a break from the video for a while and went ahead and dry fitted this on here and mounted the lights. Now, my truck has a body lift, and because of this body lift, as you see, it has it sitting wrong. It's kind of blocking my headlights right in through them. It's also touching the bumper right there where it shouldn't be. So it's a simple fix. I just need to lift this up right here. Instead of it having this drop point right in here, it needs to be straight out right here, and then this brought up, and that'll correct everything right there. That's just bolted on, but I've noticed these things get movement sometimes right in those two bolts. So what I think I'm going to do is unbolt it and raise it up and have it welded and a plate put in behind it. There's a welder right across the street that he can handle that task for me. I put the lights in, but I have not wired them yet. Pretty excited about these lights. Put those in. I kind of like that Razorback license plate little deal there. I really I like it. I guess here in the Philippines too, they really like hogs. They really like pigs. So there's a mean pig. Kind of goes with the truck. I like it. I think I'm gonna leave it on there. So as you see right there, you can see it setting low with my body lift. As soon as I go across and have them to unbolt that, we raise it up right there at their shop, weld it and plate it, I think it'll be fine. This is just a dry fitting now. I am gonna recoat all of this. I'd like to go up into the city and see if I can find a powder coater there, but if not, I'll just put a good coat of enamel paint on it. Alright, well there you have it for now. Thank you much.